Oh yeah, where's my laptop?
Let's have a little look. Got a
I'm gonna
fair
bring it
few
up
in the
on my
chat
laptop.
already,
Oh,
which
good
is
lads.
wonderful. And yeah, I think we're ready to go, to be honest.
I bought. Sorry, just completely personal thing. I bought a new pair of football boots, and they came yesterday.
I bought a new pair
And
as well last week.
wow, they are
Yeah.
they are probably the nicest. I mean, I
Nicest
splashed
what?
out on them. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to show you now because
Go on, get them on.
I can. So I went for these blacked out laceless coppers. So
Neat. I went
yeah,
blackout Adidas as well, but not coppers.
they were nice.
They look lovely. Are they the laceless ones?
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
I'm actually like a big laceless fan,
Yeah,
which
so am
probably
I.
like people that know me would probably be quite surprised because I'm kind of like a bit of an old school footballer. Um, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the laceless. Anyway,
Yeah,
enough
they're
about
lovely.
me. Let's talk about Gameweek
Yeah,
401.
it's about the deadline stream in honor of the main man Quinny. Lads, what's going on? Yeah, welcome to deadline stream for game week 401, I believe. It is
401,
401,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Lads, we've had all sorts going on. Deadline day deals, deadline day streams. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a deadline stream without a bit of confusion. Sam's unfortunately caught in a bit of traffic and well at the hospital, but he's fine. Everything's fine. It's just a bit of a checkup situation. But yeah, he's on his way back, so he'll be with us hopefully for the sort of second half of the stream if we need him. I don't think we will. Josh will be perfect replacement. But yeah, welcome lads to the stream and Josh as well.
Yeah, I was going to say you guys have got a slightly darker and more bearded version of Sam Ty than you usually get.
Better football player though.
So, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I've heard Sam can play.
I've never seen Sam play.
You know what? I've heard he can play, mate.
Do you know what? I back myself. A better footballer. Correct.
Yeah, I back you as well. To be fair, mate. But yeah, running order is going to be very similar to the usual crack as we do on obviously Quinny's stream. Matchups, play sharper, sort of collaboration. We've got a few giveaways as well. Massive shout before I won't forget because this was huge from him. I'm just going to put on screen now what. The kind man that is SR Monkey, first in the stream as well, has donated a Thomas Partey and a Gabriel, limited to give away, which is great.
Nice.
So, Josh, I'm going to ask you probably, 30 to 45 minutes in, a little trivia question potentially for the chat for one of those cards.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
To put pressure on you like that. But I am also giving away my little Carlos Elena rare card, which was part of a little Twitter situation that I did a couple of days ago. Where is that to? Let's have a little look. So if you want to get involved in that, you can. Deadline will be I'm going to do that at 2:00. So here it is on the screen now. Literally just retweet this tweet, basically, lads. That's all you need to do. And yeah, that's kind of that for the giveaway side of things. Any luck this midweek, Josh?
No. In fact, I just cancelled my lineup. I finished 10th in Challenge Europe Super Rare, and 8th was for a prize. And yeah, I just cancelled my lineup. I sent one of the players in the live offer. So yeah, well, I wasn't winning anything anyway, obviously. But yeah, it was a bit frustrating, really. Like, yeah, it was a bit frustrating. I mean, can we bring me up on? Will it show? Yeah, bring me up on Sorare and I'll talk to people about my thought process for this midweek. I only had 2 lineups out. So yeah. And SR Monkey says I think he thought that I didn't want to show everyone my new boots, and that, like, I wanted to show everyone. I knew we were live, and you know, I was just flexing the boots, obviously. But yeah, if you bring me up on, I think you probably already have, but there's a bit of a lag. I'm watching on 2 screens.
You're good.
Anyway, let's go for this. So yeah, I basically I was really light on mids, right? Because Jordy Classy was injured. I wanted to play Jordy Classy versus Bran, because I felt like that was a nice matchup for AZ, even though they drew 1 each. But he was injured, so I basically had to choose between Sadlek, Galaza, and Refailov. Refailov was never really an option because he's sort of been on the bench for Maccabi Haifa throughout most of these Euro quals. So I didn't really think I could play Galaza because he hasn't played any of the last like 4 or 5 games for Genk because he's been injured or he's come off the bench maybe like in the last 2 or something. So I went for Sadlek even though they were playing Fenerbahce. And obviously they went down to 10 men after like 40 minutes and got absolutely mauled, 5-1 in the end. And Galaza did start and got an assist. So if I had played Galaza instead of Sadlek, that is an extra 39 points exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I'd have come like 7th or something, right? And would have got a reward. So that was a bit annoying. Also, Divine Wrench's AA got absolutely tanked. I think the concession obviously probably did it, the main thing, and I think he might have lost a couple of late duels or something.
Yeah, lost 4 duels.
So yeah, that wasn't great either. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was just a bit of a rubbish midweek for me, to be fair. Like, Galatasaray conceded 2. All right, but actually still got a good score because he got a last man tackle from the clouds. But then, like, Captain Lang didn't do anything against PSV, against Rangers, which is a bit of a shame. And then in my other lineup, I just was sort of threshold chasing, really just trying to get over 250, and that did not go well at all either. So yeah, Rafaelov off the bench, Twente conceding 5, Pavlidis blanking, and then Galaza with the 80 score. So, bit of a shame, but it is what it is. We will roll on to the weekend.
100%. Is that 20's got to be out of that tie now, haven't they? Surely.
Yeah, they're dead, mate. Yeah, so another season of, well, unless they can win 5-0 in Holland, but yeah, I mean, it's just not really realistic. So yeah, they're out by looks of things, and AZ having to go to Norway and get a result. I'm not, obviously, like, you'd still think they should do it, but it's not super comfortable. I'd have liked a couple of goals lead really going into the away leg. 100%. But apart from that, my players look okay. I mean, obviously if I'm kind of hoping that PSV lose if Lang could score in the reverse fixture and PSV lose, that would be the best scenario, Sorare wise, because then they drop into the Europa League, obviously. Got you. I'm sure. Hang on, I've got that right, haven't I? This is a Champions League qualifier.
Yeah, it's definitely champs. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they drop into the Europa League group stage, which would obviously be better. If they go into the Champions League, then Lang probably isn't going to be of too much use midweek. And then Galatasaray getting a away win at Mold. They just need to come back to Turkey and get the job done. So that's looking pretty positive. And Ajax obviously winning 4-1 away. Bit of a foregone conclusion. Looks like they're into the UEL groups as well. So
Kudus hat-trick, wasn't it?
It was, I think, yeah. Kudus, with a hat-trick, scored 100 on Sorare, and Brian Brobby got the other goal. He only got 45 minutes though, so yeah, he got it in the first half.
What's going on with Windell?
Yeah, I mean,
that is 20.
Pretty crazy, actually. Well, how on earth did that even happen? Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you lose possession 16 times, I suppose, and then don't do much else.
Couple of duels lost.
Couple of fouls.
The fouls are horrible, isn't they?
Yeah, fouls are minging, aren't they?
4 points.
I think
gone.
Wrench got fucked with fouls. Yeah, Wrench had 3 fouls. So, I mean, again, something that's going to hurt fullbacks more than anywhere else, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It's that variance, isn't it? It's like hit or miss with those fullbacks.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. It's just sort of the way it is. I saw Medic also got a yellow card. I didn't actually realize that he has cards on Sorare, but yeah, they were minted when he was playing for whoever he was playing for before.
Bundesliga, was it?
He's got a St. Pauli shirt on his.
That's it. Yeah. I'm looking
on his Sorare data thing. Yeah,
he's pretty cheap, 115 quid. I guess that's what Satalo. Is he going to partner Satalo? You'd imagine, or?
Well, this is a good question, isn't it? Because Joao Hato. I mean, Satalo's going to play, right? There's sort of absolutely no. Yeah, sort of no question about that. But yeah, Joao Hato is 17 years old, so I guess you'd sort of think that Medic would play over him. But he's like the next prospect from Ajax, sort of a bit like a slightly taller Timber regen. So yeah, I mean, I think he will still get quite a lot of play time. To be honest, he could play left back as well, and it wouldn't surprise me if they play him at left back.
Gaston Avia time, baby. It's got to be Gaston.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
But yeah, if he could cover as well, that's like, what's that? 3?
Yeah,
three
like
left
he can.
backs, technically.
He can cover numerous positions. And then I don't know what to do with my Divine Wrench. I'd be quite happy to trade him, but I think Seguin sold the last one for like 0.8, and I don't really have any interest selling at 0.8. I mean, maybe that is about where he should be, but I don't know. I have like his rookie card, and it's the 1 of 10.
You do, yeah.
But I'm not sure that really makes much difference.
I mean, it's a nice card. It's a lovely year as well, 2021. Those cards are just clean, very clean.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, enough talking about my cards.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that was my midweek, and yeah, sorry, chaps. I've just rambled on for ages there about stuff.
But I'm just gonna give a little shout out to some of the boys in the chat. Glenn Hoddle's in the building. Josh Shaw, Charlie Dunbar, boys, what's going on? Who else we got? Jonathan's in, obviously. SR Monkey, Weaselmont, Ollie, Sean. Appreciate you all. Ian as well at the top there. Sorry, I almost missed that. Scott as well. Appreciate all the messages in the chat, lads. What's this? Tackle taken slowly. Pickford is this guy's username. Thoughts on buying Tony? Might buy a lot of him in a month or so's time once prices settle down. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're maybe too soon. Actually, when really? Can he play again? Christmas.
Yeah, Jan. I guess is it or Christmas? Jan.
Is it Jan? Yeah.
One of the two.
Where's the floor at now? I mean, we've still got downwards trends on the auctions. Okay. I guess this could be the bottom. He's sort of the same. I think he'll probably dip a bit more actually.
Yeah, it could be. Though,
to be honest, it's probably not going to be.
Though? He's definitely moving, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean I think so. I'm not really sure where he goes, but
yeah,
I'd be surprised.
United.
Yeah. But yeah, I think downward trend on the auctions is still in full flow. I mean, yeah, but I guess this could be the bottom. When was his ban announced?
Oh, a couple months ago now, wasn't there? Wasn't it when England went to the World Cup because he was moaning about not getting to the World Cup? Was that something? I'm sure he said that on the
he
podcast,
was dropped from the World Cup squad prior to the charges being levied.
Got you.
And everyone was like, "Why isn't Tony in the squad?" And then the charges came out like the next week, and they were like, "Oh, that's why Tony isn't in the squad." And then the ban was only like it took quite a while for the ban to come through. I don't know when it was. I would presume it. I don't know. I think if you are looking to buy Tony now, might actually not be the worst time.
Could be a decent shout.
In terms of like price, but I guess it's always what you can do with that ETH. Like you're just sat on it for what, like 4 months.
It's opportunity cost, isn't it? I guess.
So yeah, I don't know.
Quinny's in the building, the main man, the originator.
Well, what am I doing here, Quinny? I'm in your hot seat.
Quinny, what's going on? hope you're having a good day, Quinny. I didn't realize the celebrations would start this early, but I guess you must have went somewhere last night. I imagine. I don't know. Maybe.
I see Hendo's here as well. He must be excited for Celtic. Well, actually, he's not even a Celtic fan. I'm not sure why I'm saying that.
Yeah, but he's got Celtic cards, definitely.
Yeah, and SPFL is back, right? Was it all of the SPFL that was off? I presume it was because it was Scottish Cup weekend, right? Last week.
Yeah, it was all off.
So welcome back, Hendo, for the SPFL, and any other Scots in the building. I saw we had Ian Sorare in here as well. Sorry, Harry, I'm doing your bit now, aren't I? You carry on. Harry, are you on mute, or is it just me that can't hear you?
Yeah, I am on mute. Sorry, I did sneeze and then didn't unmute myself. Didn't want to bless everyone with the sneeze. But yeah, loads of messages in the chat. I really do appreciate it all. Jack says, wasn't it like 2 games before the end of the season?
It could have been Jack. I really can't remember. But that would make sense looking at his price graph because it did tank down to like 0.06.
Quinny, I watch your fucking what's it called? Press conference today, mate. I was crying. No, Josh, you've got to see like.
I haven't watched this one.
Oh mate, no, he meant. I'm crying. He mentioned the Rodrigo trade.
The Rodrigo trade?
Yeah, you know the one. Oh. Yeah. And it's just unbelievable. Like, Quinny, honestly, you had me in stitches, I swear to God. If you've not watched it, lads, go watch. You probably have already, but go watch Quinny's his Gameweek 4-1 press conference thing, mate. Honestly, I was crying. I was really, really in tears. But Quinny did school run, swim sauna, and now he's riding shotgun.
Good man, Quinny. Enjoy.
The old school run, yeah, it is Friday, isn't it? Okay. Josh, I need some help with this Game Week Center matchups tab that we always scan over and check matchups and whatever, and then we go over to play sharper. Can you see my screen? Oh, unless you have the Gameweek Center already up.
I do have the Gameweek Center up somewhere. How do I don't, to be honest. How do you even access the Gameweek Center? Is it
Gameweek?
Oh, I've got it.
Yeah, matchup. Cool. We'll scan through the top sort of 15 of this, maybe see where that takes us. We'll do the giveaways, and then we'll just see if Sam's available. If he's not, then we're stuck with you, Josh.
What a shame.
I know, massive shame. You got a game tomorrow before I get into this?
Yes, in fact, we are home to Purton, which is a team just near Swindon, and we've only played 4 games, but it's like being labelled as this title clash. Ooh, so it's it's a big one. We'll see how we go.
Don't mind it. Okay, a team that you're very familiar with, but not as familiar with as a Quinny, I'd imagine. Celtic are top of the matchups tabs. Would you believe it? At home to St. Johnstone. Is this the best matchup all weekend? Has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think the matchups tab has got it absolutely correct.
Yeah.
St. Johnstone haven't scored a goal in ages, have they? Sorry, I know Ian's here and he's probably going to be like saying, Harry's got this fuckwit on and he's bashing my team, but I don't think they've scored a goal in a while. Let me just have a quick check. I mean, the last time they scored was the 25th of July, so that's like a month ago. Okay. I mean, three goalless games and then going into Celtic at Celtic Park. Yeah. It doesn't look great for them, to be honest. I've only got one active Celtic card. I've got Cameron Carter-Vickers as well as Callum McGregor, but Carter-Vickers is injured for like 2 months or something now. Brilliant. So yeah, I mean, this is a great matchup, isn't it? Looking at this makes me want to captain McGregor because I've got Josip Misic captain in my main lineup this week. They play Dynamo Zagreb play Rijeka at home, but maybe I should put McGregor as captain. I don't know. Anyone in the chat? Misic, McGregor. Sure. Who are we going for?
The odds. Celtic are 1.04. What's that? Literally, you have to put £100 onto him, £4. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. 1-25. Yeah. They can't be that short, can they?
Well, that's what it says here. Draws 15-1. St. Johnstone are 29-1 to win. This is according to Play Sharp. I don't know how accurate.
I mean, that's fucking absurd.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, is swearing PC on your? Yeah, of course it is.
No, we can swear.
Okay, nice. Thanks, Harry. Scotland. Yeah, I mean that is absurd. That's ridiculous. I mean, obviously. Yeah, wow. Okay.
They're missing the 2 centre halves, right, Celtic?
Yes.
And then everyone else, I guess, is playing, to be fair. Front 6 is unchanged. Right back, Johnson's back in, I guess, from Ralston.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. The boys are saying, Jack says it's got to be McGregor with those odds.
Ian, it's okay. I've had it all week. Sorry, Ian. Yeah, okay. I'll pop McGregor in as captain. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, they're quite a similar player, to be fair, McGregor and Misic, so hopefully they can both smash.
So, yeah, watch out, Challenger, watch out, Gas, obviously. But then, are you worried about the sort of defensive stack of side of things? Because I wouldn't be as much as I would if, Cameron Carter-Vickers.
No, yeah, definitely not. I mean, the centre-halves don't even have cards, right?
Well, Scales does.
Oh, Scales does have a card.
Yeah, from Aberdeen.
Okay. I think, to be honest, like, defensive, I think not many players have Joe Hart's nowadays. How much is Joe Hart?
How much is Joe Hart?
Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I feel like there's lots of fear about Hart like losing his spot to a new signing or Rodgers not being completely happy with him or whatever.
I feel like nothing's working on my screen. But yeah, it does
also
feel
his scores just aren't that great.
He is getting on a bit as well, isn't he? He's 350 quid 3-day average. So whatever that is.
Yeah, and there's one on the market for like around that. Exactly around that.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, it's an unbelievable matchup from the attacking side of things. Would you go McGregor or Kyogo captain? Kizo asks.
Oof.
It's got to be Kyogo, hasn't it? You've got to fancy him a couple of DAs. Surely.
Oh, Hendo's now putting me off captaining McGregor because he says he's been playing too deep. A bit like the start of last season, I guess.
Well, yeah, he's got 2 8s in front of him, really, and O'Reilly and Turnbull, really, hasn't
And
he?
the ball, yes. Having said that,
So
Josip Misic is definitely a 6. So I guess
fair.
maybe I should just captain Guido Bergstaller, who's playing WSG at home. Sorry, I'm talking about my lineups again rather than the game week. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, second on our list is Champion Europe's Bayern Munich, who you're allergic to.
Yeah, I was going to say wrong guest for these next two matchups. I think just to touch on Celtic just very briefly, yeah. I think Abada's the real play this week. Like Abada and O'Reilly, I would say would be like the two that you're probably really going to want in lineup. Like, but Kyogo could score a hat trick, and that would obviously be great. But even if he scores a hat trick, it's still going to be like he's still going to get like 80 points or something.
Yeah, for sure.
If Abada gets like a goal and an assist, I think he'll get 100 basically, and then maybe even Turnbull as well. But O'Reilly definitely, I think has a really good chance for a decisive action. And then if you're looking at a defender, then one of the fullbacks have got a good chance of getting a DI. I suppose Taylor did get quite a few assists last year, didn't he? Yeah. I always think of Johnson as like a more defensively solid player rather than having too much influence in attack. So maybe if you are going for a defender, maybe Taylor would be the one to go for. But yeah, I think Abada's probably the key play this week. And also, like, it's a game. I guess Maeda's going to play. It's probably a game which he does okay in. But I tend to feel that his main strength is in like pressing and counter pressing, where he doesn't actually get much benefit. Like he forces mistakes, but then they go to Turnbull or O'Reilly, who play the ball into a Kyogo or somebody. Like, he doesn't actually. Do you see what he doesn't actually benefit from some of the mistakes that he causes oppositions to make?
It's a massive news, Joshua.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Roadmap update. I've got it on the screen right
okay.
now.
Good.
Let's have a little butchers at this. Sorry, lads. Deadline's postponed for now. Deadline stream. 5-minute read, lads. I'm not going to read every single word of this, but I'm going to skim over it. You can do the same.
Where have they put this, Harry? Is this on Discord yet?
It's on it's on Twitter, sorry, but then it takes you to the Medium post.
These people.
We have decided to postpone the launch of club facilities and the fitness bonus until next year.
Good. How about postpone that again from next year to the year after?
Why are we launching a fitness mechanism? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Won't a new bonus complicate the game further? I can't be asked reading that.
Yeah, I think this has probably been talked about a bit to death. I think they're trying to launch some of these the bonuses to try and make it more like at limited now. There's quite a good chance that you're going to be playing with the same team as somebody else, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So quite a lot of these bonuses and extra mechanics to try and differentiate people on the scoreboard. But I think this fitness thing is just completely wrong. I think lots of people would think this as well.
It's not rocket science to really work out there. It just seems to just be overkill, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I get that they're trying to give the coins value, so then they can have like an in-game currency, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. But the only way they seem to think they can do that is with impacting SO5, and I just think it's really shallow-minded. Like you look at the example I always use is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I don't know if obviously this is completely on a massive tangent here, but CSGO is like one of the biggest first-person shooters in the world, and they have like humongous player base, but lots and lots of how they make their money is by selling skins to their game.
Okay.
So people can buy loot boxes, and then they give them random skins, and then they can sell the skins on CSGO's secondary market, and Counter-Strike take a fee of that, etc. But these are purely cosmetics, okay? So they don't enhance gunplay or anything like that at all. These things sell for fucking ridiculous amounts of money. Some guy unboxed the like the one-of knife the other day, and got like 80, and he sold it for $80,000. So these things like just command such value, and you just need to make it engaging enough that people want to get involved in it. I think they've seen that like the banners and things they've put up on the club shop, like people aren't interested in. Mm-hmm. And no disrespect to Sorare, but that's because they're shit. Like, who cares? Like, it just is because they're rubbish. What is the one cosmetic thing that people bang on about on Sorare, Harry? What do people love on Sorare cosmetically? And what have we been talking about recently with the new card drops?
Well, design, especially
how the cards look, right?
Yeah.
How the cards look. When they did those Liquid Dream cards, do you remember those?
Yeah, they were
amazing. I think Channy's got a Liquid Dream Teremi, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if you can bring this up on screen. Sorry, I know I'm really gallivanting about fitness bonus now.
I can get it.
But I just got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about this stuff. Or hang on, let's choose an even better example. He's got the Jamal Musiala Golden Boy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and this card fucking bangs. Look at this thing, right? It is unbelievable. And he paid 0.725 for this card 3 months ago. I don't know the exact date.
It was 3 months. Yeah, 3 months ago. It was.
Let me bring this up on Sorare.
I can't. Yeah, I don't have the exact date, but it was about 3 months ago, according to Sorare.
Yeah. Right, so before that, the last Musiala on auction sold for 0.619, and he paid 0.725 straight off the bat. So that's not like a mega uplift.
Got a great deal, though, to be fair.
Yeah, and that seems like a very good deal on that card. But that's not a mega uplift, but that's still like 150 quid that he's paid just to have that card in 100%. The Golden Boy, right?
Yep.
My thing is, why don't they make card overlays that you can buy and put on your cards that are purely cosmetic, that keep the structure of the card the same, but are NFT overlays that you can put on top of your card, like a mask, exactly like that, or like a skin on a gun. When like on Counter-Strike, for instance, you can play without a skin. You can just play with like the blank basic gun, right? Or you can buy the skin and put it on, and then when people see you in the kill cam or when you're streaming it, it looks cool. This is exactly the same. When you're posting lineups on Twitter, when you're when you're posting lineups on Twitter, when you're sharing them on socials, on Instagram, whatever, even when you're like down the pub with your mates, you're like, fuck me, look at this, what I've just got. Like, and it looks cool. That is how, like, nobody's going, oh, look at this great banner I've got. Like, they don't care. It's not on the cards. It's not on what they're using. If you give people cosmetics that they can apply to the in-game items that are purely cosmetic, do not affect gameplay, if they are cool enough, if they look wicked, people will buy them. And that's in my opinion, that's the area of the cosmetic market. Pay an artist to come and, invent these things, overlays you can put on cards, put them in the club shop for X amount of coins, and see how they go, would be the way that I'd pose it.
I completely agree.
So yeah, sorry guys, I've literally
it was a good rant. I think everyone's going to
just ranted like fuck about fitness and then what they should do with cosmetics.
They are changing, the card updates. Well, card designs. In response to our valuable community feedback on the 2D format, we will change to a new, thicker font for player positions, so that is more readable for future card launches. In the meantime, the cards are already available. Okay, so they're not going to change the ones that are already out, is basically what they're saying.
Yeah, well, they can't, can they? I mean, they're out there. Sure. They're on the Ethereum there too, so yeah, they can't just remove them.
And they're not getting rid of new season bonuses, if that makes sense. So, like,
really?
Yeah, it says new season bonus rule postponed. We are postponing our update to the new season bonus rule announced in our most recent product roadmap until early next year.
Wow. So I get to keep my Bongonda at ridiculous %, right?
Yeah, and I get to keep all my Southampton players unless they mint Southampton.
Oh, wow, yeah. Hang on, do I even have new season bonus on this Bongonda? Why don't I have it?
You should have. Was it Genoa? What did you play for? No, Cadiz, wasn't it?
Cadiz, 22-23. That's the right season, right?
Should be, yeah.
How do you find out if you have it or not?
You can if you go over to, let me go to your cards, Jenky.
I feel like such a Sorare noob today. I didn't know how to find the Gameweek center on Sorare data, and now I can't see if my guy's got new season.
You do, yeah. It has 22, 23, 5%. Your card does, yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. And then with the new season bonus on top. Nice. All right, nice. Well, I'm not gonna complain about that, not for one bit.
Yeah, that's some good news. All in all, I'd say fitness, bonuses, cards, but it's just kind of the cosmetics thing. Hopefully, they can come up with.
Oh wow! It seems like people liked the skins idea. Thanks, guys.
It's a great idea. I mean, it's the most obvious as far as. Yeah, cosmetics.
Like, surely it must be possible. It must be possible.
Has to be, surely.
Um,
It's just a lens, isn't it? Like I think Laird was speaking about yesterday. It's just a lens on the Sorare website, basically, for the card. Or app. You know, maybe it's complicated there. I don't know, but
who knows?
Right, back to the matchups, Joshua.
Yes. Sorry, back
Bayern Munich. I know you are allergic to champs, but that's fine. Augsburg at home for Bayern Munich isn't as good of a fixture as Celtic at home, apparently, according to the odds, but still incredibly good. I mean, yeah, this team's looking pretty solid to me. Like everyone, barring De Ligt and Goretzka, well, okay, and Kingsley Coman are all like 90%. So if you like, you don't really have many worries with Bayern Munich right now. Kane, Sane, Coman seems to be pretty settled. Musiala, to be fair, did get injured, so you've got Muller now in the 10. So great for Muller holders, not great for the Musiala boys. And yeah, Mazraoui and Davis flying down the wings. I mean, yeah, well, this has got to be a romping, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I keep looking at my laptop to try and see the stream, but I've got it on my main computer now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, obviously it's only like 1% less of a good matchup than the Celtic one, so I think they're basically the same. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know anything about Bayern Munich, but I think it looks great, and they play at home. Surely they must be great at home.
Has to be.
And they must kill everyone.
Jonathan says the only problem is Urich, however you pronounce it.
Oh yeah, is it Ulrich or Ulreich? Well, I think it must be Ulreich. I think it must be Ulreich. I think it must be a CH. Must be. I'm sure there's.
He's Ulreich. I mean, come on. Sorry.
They've just signed a new keeper, haven't they? Is that Peretz guy? Is that right?
Yeah, Israeli keeper.
So is he I presume he's going to play, and isn't Neuer going to be back relatively soon?
Yeah, I think Neuer is is creeping towards full fitness.
I think lots of Sorare people just aren't ready for how good Harry Kane's going to be this year as well. By the way,
frightening, isn't it?
I just think if you're playing champ, I guess maybe. Like, I think Kane's going to score better than Mbappe this year. Maybe he already did. Did he already?
What? As in, well, Mbappe's only played. Oh, you mean last year?
Like historically? Oh, it doesn't look like he did. Oh, I mean, it's kind of close.
Yeah, Kane at Bayern's. There's no better forward. Is on the game. It can't be.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I think people say that his AA won't be great because it sort of wasn't at Tottenham. I mean, it was fine, but I think people say his AA won't be great because he's like a proper 9. But I think he's just going to score. I think he's just going to get a ridiculous amount of decisive actions, like a ridiculous amount. So yeah, I think if you haven't got Kane, you need to be getting Kane if you want to play Champions this year.
And stacking Bayern.
I mean, Yeah, yeah.
What is the stack? Is it Kane? Is it Kane Kimmich? Kane Sane?
Kane Kimmich. I mean, I don't really think there's. Did Kane get injured last game? Sorry, I've just seen that
he came off, but he's fine. He's definitely.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I don't really. There's not going to be a huge correlation between Kane and Kimmich, is there?
I wouldn't say so. No. Well.
But Kimmich still the best mid and champ? Sorry, guys, I'm really bad with Champion Europe. I just have no interest in it whatsoever.
I mean, he's up there. Yeah, he's him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 71 or 15, so I guess you might as well have the two. And obviously, you get nice fixture correlation with the two. You know, they're both going to be playing the same game weeks, etc. So yeah, I mean, maybe them. I don't really think the other front line like Musiala, Sane, and Coman. I don't really think there's like someone you have to stack Kane with there. If that makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, I would definitely say like if you had a really strong defensive team as well. Maybe not even Bayern, but maybe I don't know if you can pick who City. I guess City are probably going to be a very good SO5 defensive team this year because of how much they'll keep the ball, and just how much passing AA. Mickey Fu says PSU fans too has bought a Kane. Has he actually?
Sounds about right.
That's just sort of it's very Sean type of thing to do.
Water is wet.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think City just with the amount of AA points that defenders pick up. So if you had like, I think Champion like best team, probably be like Edison. I suppose picking the City defenders is going to be the difficulty.
Diaz probably. I know it's.
Yeah, like Ruben Diaz. Yeah, like he has a 68 L15. And then, you know, somebody else. And then Kimmich and Kane. Like, I think that's probably a blueprint there for like a really nice, rewarding team.
100%.
But yeah, in terms of Bayern, sorry, I feel like we're taking ages on these teams. In terms of Bayern, they're just
that's not a problem.
They're just going to smash. And speaking of City, we have them next on the matchups tab, right? I think
we don't. We have a challenger team first.
Do we?
Them? Yeah. Well, unless it's changed. I've got Feyenoord. Maybe it's.
I have City at 83% win percentage and Feyenoord at 81%.
This happened
what are you
last week
sourcing by?
Where it changed. I'm not sorting by anything.
Oh, so it should sort naturally by win percentage. Anyway, let's go for Feyenoord first because I have a Feyenoord player. And
no, you're
Feyenoord
right. It's updated. Yeah, Man City is third now on mine.
Fine.
But let's do Feyenoord because I've got it on sharper.
Okay, lovely.
And you can speak a little bit better on Feyenoord.
I can. I definitely can. I can talk about Feyenoord forever. This is perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah. So obviously, big news from Feyenoord a couple of weeks ago. Bilo has like a broken arm or something, or wrist or something.
Yeah, wrist.
So he's going to be out for a long while. And I don't know if anyone caught the Sorare strategy show with me and PSU fans too, but I did say that Bilo would be injured for ages at some point this season because he always is injured for ages at some point this season. So, you know, giving myself a pat on the back for that one. But yeah, I mean, Feyenoord, if Trauner does come back this game, I think who does these lineups? Is it Thomas or Dilla? I think it's Thomas, right? Yeah. So I would be loath to go against Thomas in his prediction that Trauner comes back, and it is a game which Trauner could come back in, because I mean it's against Almere. They're probably just going to win relatively comfortably. So it might be a nice game to get Trauner minutes. However, I don't think I'd be 60% confident he plays. Especially that his injury is a recurrence. So I think they're just going to be really cautious bringing him back. So yeah, you know, I'm not 100% sure. So it'll be either him or Bielan, and then Hanko, Hartmann, and Geertruida, which is like, I think any of those guys are really good. I am playing Hartmann in my Challenger 3 this week, actually. And then midfield, the big sticking point has been like Wiffer and Steng's going to play, but who's going to play alongside them? Is it going to be Zaruki or is it going to be Timber? This has been the big sticking point for Slot this year, basically, is that they can't really get a 6 to work with Timber, with Stengs and Wiffer. And if Wiffer plays 6, the midfield dynamic just doesn't really work. Or Wiffer and Zaruki definitely didn't work throughout the quals and, you know, in early season. So that's why Zaruki was on the bench last game. Timber or Zaruki, I think it's an absolute coin flip. If you've got either of those guys, I wouldn't be too sort of ecstatic to play them, even though the matchup is fantastic. Wiffer or Stengs, both perfectly safe. Slot absolutely loves Stengs. I don't think Stengs has been great since he's joined Feyenoord, but like Slot will just play him in 10 for the eternity of him being there, basically. And then up front, you're going to have Paxao on the left, Jimenez up top, and this is really, really good matchups. I don't like Santi Jimenez as an SO5 player. He has no AA whatsoever, but this is a genuine game he could score a hat-trick in. So, you know, if you have one, you're probably playing him here if you're going to play him at any point. Paxao is probably the one you're going to take out of this fixture, along with the defenders. I think Hanko could have a really good game. And yeah, he's just so likely to get a DA, to be honest with you. So yeah, you know, on the right, it sort of remains to be seen whether Ivanusek's going to come straight in, or actually what they're going to do with Ivanusek. Like they could play Ivanusek 10 if they're going to move Stengs out onto the wing. I don't really think Paxao is going to come over to the right. Ivanusek could play on the right, but he's playing on the left mostly for Dynamo Zagreb. I would say that he's definitely going to replace Johan Bash in the lineup, just whether it's against Almere or not, if it's too soon. So I think the transfer was only done yesterday. So yeah, whether that's too soon or not. Alex Coombs says, how does Ivanusek fit into the Feyenoord team? Sort of remains to be seen. Slot's brought him to start. He'll replace Johan Hamash in the starting lineup. I'm not quite sure who's going to play wide out of him and Stengs and who's going to play 10. I would expect Stengs to stay in the 10 and Ivanusek to play on the right. But not 100% sure. That remains to be seen. But yeah, massive matchup for Feyenoord. If you have any of their players, definitely play them. I think the defenders will eat possession AA, and the fullbacks both have good chance of DAs. Would be a little bit wary on the midfielders, but if you have Jimenez or Paxao, definitely love them in your lineups.
So basically, I shouldn't play my Timber Super.
Yeah. It's tough. I think he probably does play like. But I can't be any more than like marginal. Like to me, it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
They weren't actually any better when he came into midfield.
Didn't Zaruki throw his toys out the pram a little bit?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so maybe. I mean, maybe 60% is maybe fair for Timber, but I just don't think you can be like certain.
For sure.
Right. Like if you said like, is David Hanko going to play against Almere? I'd be like, I'm 99% certain David Hanko is going to play against Almere. The only way he doesn't play is if he pulls out injured, like in the warm up or something. But with like Timber or Zaruki, it's like, I just don't know.
Flip. Okay, well, I've had breaking news.
Oh yeah,
that Samuel is in the building.
Oh,
and wants to join us on stream. Samuel. Do we have Samuel in the building? I need to do this.
Oh, I can hear him.
Can you hear him?
I can hear him. Oh, there he is.
He's somewhere.
Hey, Sam.
Let me...
I've had great fun. I've just been, rambling on for ages about random stuff. Hopefully the chat have enjoyed.
Sam's here, lads.
Yes, I am. No, and do you know what I've just seen, guys? Is that they have released Karim Konate's Super Rare. So I may have to go and sell a whole lot of cards to a trader just so I can try and win this. I mean, his rare is already up to 0.2. So I wonder if we can get a price check on this.
Sam, how
can we have guesses in the chat? Karim Konate, Salzburg forward. What do we think his super rare 1 of 10 first ever card on so rare is going to go for? Please.
A lot.
Oh, we can't hear Sam. Why can't we hear Sam? The chat can't hear Sam.
Really? I can hear Sam.
Well, I can hear Sam. They're saying he's muted. Sam is muted on Streamlabs, apparently, Harry. Please, can we sort this?
Don't come to me now with Streamlab issues. This is not... Yeah, I've got monitor and output for my collab cam. I mean, you're both on the same collab cam as far as I'm aware. Wait. Oh. I've got it. Here we go. He's in the building.
Is that better?
Yes, he's in.
We hope that's better.
He's in. I know he is. Boys,
it's never easy, is it?
It's not. That was frustrating. But Sam is unmuted, guys.
I'd just like to apologise to everybody in the chat. My face was on the thumbnail, but I didn't show up. But big thanks to Josh for stepping in for me. Appreciate it. And always good to hear some David Hanko love, one of my guys.
Yeah,
I don't own him, but
he's your buddy.
Yeah, I don't actually have his card, which is something I should probably rectify as soon as possible. Yeah. Well, with the new season, that's probably my impetus, isn't it? See if I can get that. See if I can get that card. But a big fan of Hanko. Big fan of Hanko. Good to see him doing well. I get a message from Channy every now and then, like, is he going to Liverpool? Is he going to Liverpool? Is he going to Liverpool? Like, not the last time I checked. Same as before.
I'm still celebrating the 5-0 win. Sorry, Josh. For the old Villa boys.
Oh wow, against Hibs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a mauling, wasn't it? How many did Watkins get in the end? Was it 4?
3, I believe.
He got a 3.
Yeah. Okay. He only got 3, Josh.
Just the 3.
Yeah, it was only 3. It was 3 for Watkins, 1 for Leon Bailey, and penalty from Douglas Luiz. It's 2 penalties in 2 games for Doug. And he's taken them even with Watkins on the pitch.
Wow.
Might be worth noting because he was already on all the set pieces and he was a pretty high scorer anyway.
Yeah.
If he gets penalties for FPL terms and for so rare terms, it might elevate that card a little something because he was already good for 55, 60 per game, really.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Hendo with some breaking news.
Hendo,
Inter Miami coach saying that Messi is fatigued, but no indication of which game he'll be rested.
That's not what you want to hear as a so rare player, is it?
Wouldn't this be his MLS debut? He still hasn't played a game yet, has he? For NMLS?
Did he play the first one before the League's Cup? Don't remember. No, you could be right, Sam. He could have played straight.
He really hasn't. Like, everyone's been talking about how he's been absolutely crushing MLS, and it's like, actually, he's been crushing the League's Cup. It's and the Open Cup and every other cup. But yeah, his exposure to MLS so far has been pretty negligible.
100%. Okay. The third best matchup on the go on.
You're only on your third
Well, sorry, I've really been blabbering.
We're
51 minutes on the third stream.
We're on the fourth technically, but Man City got bumped up above Feyenoord, so we're like sort of going back on City. But you've come in at a brilliant time, Sam, because the next 3 fixtures on the matchups tab are all Premier League clubs.
Oh, thank God for that. I came in on the final stuff. I was like, I'm absolutely useless here. Thank goodness Josh is there. But yeah, we're all Premier League.
Can Sheffield hold out City, Samuel?
Can Sheffield United hold out
at home?
Manchester
Big
City?
Vinny Souza, mate. Big Vinny's involved now.
Playing against his old... Did he ever play for City? He was part of the CFG, right? But he never actually played for City.
Was he?
He was part of the group, yeah.
He played for Lommel, right? I think.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He come at me with these obscure leagues, Sam, you know?
Yeah. Spot on, mate. I mean, how's he getting on? Hasn't that card been dead for like...
I've no idea.
14 months?
I actually think he scored. Champs, I think he scored really well last week, though. Genuinely, I think he scored like not really well, like 25A or something, which is decent. But yeah.
So yeah, no. The answer to the question: can Sheffield United hold out against Manchester City? Presumably not. Sheffield United and Luton look extremely short on the requisite quality to stay in the league, and I know that's a really easy thing to say, but like. They've not particularly pushed the boat out, have they? In terms of like trying to look ambitious, trying to be ambitious, they're not risking anything because you can come up, collect the money, go down, and set your foundations even more strongly. And that's what some clubs choose to do. And the whiff I'm getting off Sheffield United and Luton right now is that is what they are going to do. The whiff you're getting off Burnley is not the same. Evidence is that they've bought like 400 players, and they're all 21, right?
Yeah.
It's an astonishing age skew, and I think that might also be a bit of a mistake. I just watched a very young Southampton team struggle to collect themselves after a bad start and some rough results, and it does spiral. And they need. I mean, like I'm not one to tell Vincent Kompany and co what to do, but it does look a bit young. That side, and Sheffield United just doesn't look good enough, unfortunately. And like I like Gus Harmer, like he's a good player, but like he's not going to fix it all, is he?
No.
Although my boy Cameron Archer is heading there, and I'm gutted to see him go. So that must say something.
Okay, yeah, it definitely seems like they haven't strengthened as heavy as like you said, a Burnley would do. Any sort of shocks in this Man City side? Is this sort of this is no Bernardo here. Do you fancy Bernardo to be on the duty?
Right, let's have a little look, shall we? I should probably load up Play Sharper. I've just been looking at you two the whole time so far.
I don't blame you.
Oh no, yes. Bernardo is starting. Sorry, he's 60% in the
playing one of the midfield too, isn't he?
Yeah, no Clover
supposedly.
Then. Okay.
Let's have a little look here.
We get to see Josko Gvardiol this weekend, right?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he played the Super Cup.
No, and he played a Prem game. He's definitely played a Prem game. He played. Yeah. Who did they play last?
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's old news, Josh.
I'm
he
sorry.
Scored like
guys.
12 AA. I only remember because he was playing left back.
I think that's going to be his position. I mean, it's not actually left back, to be fair.
No, it's 3, isn't it? I guess
because this shape that you get that Play Sharper has, on a 4-2-3-1, that's the off the ball shape. But then on the ball, obviously, it becomes 3-2-4-1, and it will shift around. And it's perfect for Guardiola, isn't it? Really, it's the perfect kind of hybrid role. It's kind of where we're heading. Arsenal do the same thing with their defenders. Benjamin White is a hybrid. Jurrien Timber, rest in peace, was supposed to be a hybrid. Tomiyasu, hybrid. These are all players that can play fullback and centre back. and then they sort of like sit in the channel and play a kind of hybrid role. So it's great. It's great for Gvardiol. I just feel a little bit sorry for Nathan Ake. I know football waits for no one, and treble ambitions. They take no prisoners. But Ake was brilliant last year, absolutely brilliant. And it's not like he's going to be frozen out because they've got a lot of games to play. But on performance value, it wasn't an area that City were massively crying out for in terms of a starting 11 upgrade. However, given the opportunity to sign Gvardiol, you don't say no, do you?
No. You don't.
No.
You don't say no.
No. Bernardo going to celebrate his new contract with a lovely decisive, do we reckon?
Yeah,
I think so.
Potentially.
Could be a cricket score, this, couldn't it? Jesus.
Yeah, it could be. What about this? This could be a cricket score as well. Arsenal-Fulham, by the way.
Do you know I won a Ben White last week, Harry?
Oh. Yeah, I saw the super.
Yeah, he's straight off to a trader to try and fund the Karim Konate super advert.
I just bought Benjamin White into my little draft thing. I was trying not to make too many changes, but my defenders from last season are Reece James and Luke Shaw. So yeah, I now have to make a change, and I just I stuck White in because, well, this looks like a really good matchup, doesn't it? Fulham at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
they got pumped, didn't they, last game? Fulham? Brentford, wasn't
it? They got done at home by Brentford pretty convincingly, and they beat Everton on the opening day, but it was one of those like Bernd Leno got 100.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And didn't Everton have an XG of like 3 point something?
It was high. Yeah, it was definitely over 2 from the one I saw. It was classic Everton, isn't it? They can't finish their own dinner at the moment, and it's going to be a problem that plagues them all season long and maybe cost them if they don't do something in the next 7 or 8 days. I know they're trying to do something, but don't have a lot of money. So it is quite difficult. But yeah, Fulham here, Mitrovic injured. Palhinha, he's here at 50%. That, he's not fully fit.
Yeah.
Because he went off in what I think it was the first preseason game with his arm in a sling. So that guy's not fit. That's your two best players. And you're going to the Emirates, and as much as Arsenal were a little bit hard to gauge right now, at home, last 2 years, they win. They almost always win.
I can't wait to see what happens if Calvin Bassey has to switch out on Bukayo Saka or something. That's just a meme waiting to happen.
It's the Messi Boateng situation. I can see him twisting him inside out.
You're not a fan of Bassey, Josh?
Oh well,
I think he's decent. But...
his spell at Ajax was just horrendous.
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it?
Well, just hideous, a hideous signing. Like don't get me wrong. I mean,
if I've ever used the word hideous to describe a signing in my life.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Bassey had a good season and did very well. Didn't Rangers get to the Europa League final or something?
Yeah, he was good,
and he was really good because all Rangers did in that Europa League run was defend and then like pump and grind the ball up the pitch. I don't know. There's probably some Rangers fans in here who are like, "You absolute
no, we
arsehole.
didn't. We played football."
Yeah, exactly. But his main role was to defend, right? He was a defender. Yeah. He played left back, I think, in that particular campaign. But he didn't really get much past the halfway line and just defended well, and that's really good. If he has balls he's sort of like a more athletic left-footed Harry Maguire in that sort of sense.
Yeah.
Where if
he is very athletic.
Yeah, he's really athletic.
Recovery sprints and stuff are very good. He was a little reckless, even for Rangers, when recovering. At times.
A little. But when he got put into Ajax system and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna receive the ball and pass it 17 times," like he just can't do it.
It's not him, is it?
It just didn't fit, and it was just terrible recruitment. Like that's what I meant by it being a hideous signing. It wasn't that he's so bad, but just that the recruitment was really poor because he just doesn't fit their style of how they want to play football.
It's like giving David Moyes, Danny Ings and Gianluca Scamacca and expecting him to be like, yeah, I can use these players. Sometimes it's astonishing, isn't it, how a lack of joined up thinking can permeate to a point where you can spend 20 to 40 million pounds on a player that you definitely can't use.
Yeah.
And it's like, why have you done this? And so that sucks for Bassey, but Silva's Fulham are a bit. Oh no! I mean, they're not one way or the other in terms of like possession versus direct. Like a relatively nice mix of both. I think they're a very physical team, and they press and they're very active. And so I think a lot of his traits suit Marco Silva's Fulham a lot better. And I think his physical build, his Samatta type, is probably pretty good for the Premier League too. So I'm kind of hoping that it all sort of turns around for him here. I know that Fulham were looking at, it was either him or Mohamed Salah, and they were trying to figure out which one it would be. They're both pretty similar. So Fulham clearly knew what they wanted from their left centre back, because Salah can't pass the ball either. Like, just absolutely cannot do it. Bless him. Good though.
Right, enough slander on the left-sided centre backs now. Let's move to Chelsea, who are at home to Luton this evening, I believe.
Yeah, that's tonight.
Is that the Friday night game?
Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff. What do we think here then? Another really good Champion Europe fixture for Chelsea.
Harry, weren't you showing us your Enzo matchup score? And it was.
It got changed, Sam. It got changed to a AAA. Yeah.
Tell everyone what happened.
So I sent Laird a cheeky little screenshot of. See if we can get it up. We'll get it up or not. Of Enzo Fernandez's matchup score for this game against Luton, and as you can see here, it has changed to a AAA. But it was it a B or an A? It was one of the two, wasn't it?
It was low.
It wasn't
low.
I can tell you that. Yeah, and then like if you scrolled over, you know where it says like pick score and it says the details. The matchup like indicator was red. Like it was not even an ounce of anywhere towards green. It was crazy. And then something changed. I don't know what. And now he
pushed a button.
Led did a bit of work for once, and
wow. The shots at Laird.
Well, that was the reason why. Yeah. Well, we won't get into it. Laird was asked to come on today, but too busy doing other things that aren't work, wasn't it, Sam?
Something about having all the kids with him, or some silly excuse. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, who'd have kids, eh?
But Sam, what are we saying? Is this an elite matchup? They're 1-3, so they're not like they're favourites, obviously, home, but. Is it like?
Oh, it doesn't get any better than this as a home match in the Premier League, does it? Like it's.
Well, Arsenal at home to Fulham, is that not better odds?
No, that's not better.
Let me have a look.
No,
it is. It is on paper. Sorry,
but this. So what I'm going to say is this it illustrates perfectly how people feel about Chelsea at the minute. Is that they are not a bigger favourite at home to Luton than Arsenal are at home to. Where did Fulham finish last year? 10th place or something.
Something like that in 10th.
I mean, like Sam said, Palhinha's probably not going to play, and Mitrovic is injured or having a tantrum about not being able to go to Saudi. So, I understand where they're coming from, but I think people are just, and bookmakers as well, obviously, are thinking that Chelsea just, have not quite got all the cogs working quite in motion yet.
I think there's definitely a part of this which is like, with Chelsea, you almost want to see it to believe it. So, for this to be a crusher of a matchup, ultimately you're going to need to record a 3-0 win. When was the last time Chelsea scored 3 goals in a game? I mean, it's been a long, long time. And as much as we may feel, I say we as at the Royal We, people may feel artificially low on Chelsea, as in they're just kind of waking up and they are better than what they've shown. Yeah, until you see it, sometimes it can be quite hard to believe it. And and if no one really has any faith in Chelsea scoring 3 goals just yet, even if they're clearly the better team, then that will play itself out in the odds, and that will play itself out in how people judge these games. But if there's a game where Chelsea finally score 3 goals again, it's this one, and I reckon it will probably happen because. So Luton have only played. Have they played the one game?
2-1. It's got to be 2.
They've played. Yeah, they've played less than everyone else, right?
No way.
Yeah, so I think
their stadium isn't up for.
So holding
Premier League games.
They played the first weekend and they looked terrible, completely off it. And then they obviously had to postpone the second game.
Yeah.
So coming off the back of that first one, you get the 2-week break, you get the break, your momentum's been broken up, which is not nice. And it's the same for Burnley as well, coming into this weekend, because that was the fixture that couldn't be played.
Yeah.
And and then they still look so far short of quality. But I mean, there's probably people out there that would think, well, I still don't think Chelsea can score the goals because they haven't quite seen it yet. I think it will come together probably tonight, but we'll see.
100%.
Yeah, I think a couple of the boys have been saying that it's disrespectful for Fulham. I'm not sure. I hope they don't mean what I was saying about Fulham, but I think they're talking about the odds, and I agree. I think Arsenal I think Arsenal obviously should win the game. They're favourites for a reason, but I don't think that Fulham should be, or I don't think that Arsenal should be a shorter price to beat Fulham than Chelsea are to beat Luton.
Agree. I was shocked to see that, honestly. I know I kind of made that point, but yeah, it is a bit ludicrous actually, though.
Jonathan says Enzo 100 incoming. Someone was asking me, I forget who, earlier this week, if they should play Enzo and Gusto in a U23 stack, and I was like, well, if there's ever a week to play it,
yes,
it's home to Luton.
It definitely is, yeah. And Gusto, he looked really good in pre-season, stepping into the team when Reece James wasn't quite ready to return yet, and obviously now Chelsea have finally woken up to the fact that Reece James is physically unreliable and have made the switch, as Piliqueta, who has looked like he's been running pretty heavy for the last 2 to 3 years. Can't really play right back anymore at Premier League level. And so Gusto comes in. We know he's a very good player. He looked good in pre-season. He looked happy next to Thiago Silva. He looked good combining with Conor Gallagher and Enzo. So this should be relatively seamless, I think. And it's a really good opportunity. And yeah, it tells you where my head is because I keep looking at that L15 and thinking, oh, because it's yellow. But I think if you're playing Gusto tonight, you're looking at bigger and better things than a cheeky L15. You're looking at under 23s.
100%.
Yeah, would agree.
Ben Chilwell's is pretty low as well. 39 L15.
Wow, yeah. I suppose he was out injured for a while, wasn't he?
I guess to get myself these Chelsea fullbacks, man.
I know. Right, who have we got next on this old match?
Sturm Graz.
We do. We're back to Joshua's neck of the woods.
Now we're talking.
They didn't play last night, did they, Josh?
Did they? No. Did they? No. They got knocked out.
They got knocked out the previous round.
The previous round by PSV, I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure it was PSV. So they'll go into Europa League groups. Now, do they not have to play a Europa League qualifier?
They definitely didn't play it last night, so maybe they don't.
How odd? Okay. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, they're not out of everything. I don't think. They should just go into the Europa League, I think. Anyway, yes. So Sturm Graz play newly promoted Blau-Weiß Linz at home. And yeah, this is an absolute smash pot of a fixture, by the way. You want to be Kjell Scherpen. I mean, to be honest, there's sort of two ways this can go for Kjell Scherpen. He either gets 60 points. Actually, there's 3 ways this can go. He gets 60 points because he keeps clean sheet and has to do absolutely nothing. He gets like 80 points because he gets a bunch of keeper sweepers. Or he gets 32 points because, Blau-Weiß score with their only shot on target or something like that,
Yeah. And he gives the ball away 8 times or something.
Yeah, exactly, right. The players who you're probably really going to want for this fixture are like Gregory Wuthrick, who I have, so I'm obviously going to say that. But like the amount of passing AA that him and David Affengruber, who is probably the other player I'd recommend, is are going to get, it's probably going to be pretty astronomical because Sturm are going to have a lot of the ball, and yeah, they're probably just going to play into. They're going to keep the ball, try and draw Blau-Weiß up the pitch, and then sort of try and get Czechsherer in behind or hit off the big Polish man whose name I can't pronounce. So, yeah, I think it's a great fixture. I'd be saying Wuthrick, Affengruber, Jongar and Stankovic maybe, if you're looking for more of a budget play, would probably be you guys to go for. And yeah, if you've got a Sherpen, again, you're going to play him in this fixture. Chance for a clean sheet is just so likely. But yeah, near 50% clean sheet chance based on bookmaker odds.
Yeah, it's decent odds. Decent odds for sure. Okay. We're still in Challenger, and we're going to Sporting Lisbon versus Famalicão.
Yes, we are indeed.
Come on, Harry. Sporting Club Portugal.
Sorry,
play by the rules.
I did get one of my friends I play football with is Portuguese, and on one of my TikToks he commented, he was like, Sporting, what did he say? Sporting Portugal, not Sporting Lisbon or something. I was like, all right, sorry.
There you go.
Awesome. But, Athletic Club, Sporting Club. Thing is, they sound so generic. People don't necessarily know what you're on about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know when you said sport. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Sporting Club.
It's so generic. It could be any sporting club. So
yeah.
This is a great opportunity for any OGs rolling that Adan Coates stack. I know that was quite popular back in the day.
I know one. Mr. Laird?
Laird's got it, yeah. So yeah, that I think will be super effective if we're talking in Pokemon terms. Offensive players, you're probably looking at Pedro Goncalves, aren't you? You know, Pote's probably going to have a smashing game here. Yeah. And it's been quite interesting to see Victor Gyrokas come into this sporting team. I think, you know, they've sort of lacked a 9 for like 3 seasons. I would say, well, actually, you can probably say they've lacked a 9 since Slimani left, which was like forever ago. And yeah, I think he's been sort of quite promising, really. Obviously, big money purchase for them. But yeah, if you've got one of his cards, I'd certainly be keen to lob that in. Yeah, they've got over a 50% clean sheet chance. So Inacio, Coates, Adan, those are going to be big money balls from this.
Did Inacio sign that new deal? I saw it reported.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
I mean, that is what a godsend that is. You know, for Inacio holders, like he's been linked constantly last 18 months. Like anyone holding him must just be constantly like, please don't go, please don't go, please don't go, please don't go. And then obviously add the next layer is Saudi all summer. We're all worried about that too. For Inacio to just like nail it down to Sporting that must be awesome. To anyone that's got him, congratulations.
Yeah, and Powell's got like 2 super airs. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, not good. I think he got them in like the Spicer gallery.
Yeah, he has a couple. He does, yeah.
Just a couple of things in the chat. A couple of the guys are pointing out the grass fixture as well, which I think Mickey Fu says it should be even higher matchup indicator, as Linz have been terrible. And yeah, you're absolutely correct. They have been absolutely atrocious. They're a proper Bundesliga 2 team that have sneaked in to the Austrian Bundesliga. And then Mickey Fu also says he's playing Graz, GK defensive, and Celtic attack in U23. I mean, that just... Oh yeah, of course, because you can play Affan Gruber and Sherpen together. Oh, and Connor says, and Gazi Begovic. Yeah, that's a pretty lethal triple threat this week, I'd probably say. Yeah, anyway, Sporting, great matchup. Pick some defenders up from them if you fancy some clean sheets.
And maybe Pote and Gyökeres.
Yes.
Right, a little pause in play, in action. We're going to give away some cards.
I'm just going to go grab a drink quick. Sorry.
Whose cards are you giving away? Is it Josh's?
No, one of mine and 2 of SR Monkey's. I am going to go over and shout out
to SR Monkey first for being an all-round good guy, and also every time I go to a card to try and buy it,
he's always there.
4 days before SR Monkey bought it. It's happened like 8 times this summer. He is on the ball, and he told me he has 1 billion Twitter alerts set up, and his phone wants to drown itself. But look at the edge it gives you. He's totally on it. We tried to a few this week, and in the summer I went to go and get a Diogo Gonçalves, the Copenhagen guy. Of course, SR Monkey was in there 4 days before.
It's always 4 days.
Others,
never 3, course, never 5.
It's all 4 days behind. SR Monkey, let me know what the weather's like in 4 days' time. I'd love to
know. No, it's funny, but yeah, he does have. I just want to mention he does have a podcast that he's written. He hasn't asked me to mention this, but I'm mentioning it because he's a great guy, and yeah, he's started a podcast. I think Quinny was on there most recently. So if you want to check out his podcast and obviously follow me on Twitter, please do so. But we do have 2 of his cards to give away. We're going to do 1 now, or maybe do 2 now. I did ask Josh. I don't think he's come up with a...
Oh, wow, yeah. You wanted me to get some trivia question. Stuff, right?
Yeah, so I want to do these. So these 2 cards will be given away to the chat, and then I'm giving away my Carlos Elena rare card, but that's part of a Twitter giveaway. If you want to get involved in that, you just go over to my Twitter, and there is a tweet with Elena's face on it. Yeah, this one. Just retweet that, and you're entered, and then I'm going to do that on Twitter Picker. But first, I want to give away the Thomas Party. Joshua, do you have a question for the chat?
So what's the deal here? I say a question, they have to write in the chat the answers?
Yes, and the first correct answer will be the winner.
Okay, I've got it. Who are the... And I think this is a great trivia. Who are the EFL Championship clubs licensed by Sorare?
Okay, so we need the name of however many there is, yeah?
Wait, hang on. Clarification. For this season or for last season?
There aren't any 2023-24 card.
There is,
they have. They have.
All right, hold the phones, guys.
Hold the
Stop
phones,
your typing.
Wait.
Okay, I don't think anyone's put anything yet.
They'll start flooding in.
Yeah.
It'll come in a sec, mate. Yeah.
Right. So hang on. How? Oh,
right,
but
no,
now
we
I'm
need a
giving
new
people too much of a
question.
head
New
start,
question,
yeah.
Josh.
Sam, why did you have to ruin that for me, man?
Why did I
we
have
could
to
have just
ruin it?
gone with it and then.
No.
Fine.
It's all about fairness and.
Oh look, they're all in there now. Norwich. See that. Guys, I'm so sorry. So I was looking that some people have got it correct. I think the ones I was looking for were Watford, Norwich, Coventry, and Millwall. Which
right, so that would have been last year's.
That's the only year I was talking about.
No, Joshua.
So this year they've renewed Watford and Norwich
cards.
so far. They're out, mate. The cards are out. They've got two. They've got two back in.
Yep.
Right. Well, okay. Sorry, guys. He gets me on the stream for 1 week, and I've fucked it.
And he's cocked it up.
And now I don't have any other trivia questions.
I've got a question.
Go on, Sam.
And if anyone can get it without Googling it, it's fantastic. It's definitely not on demo at all, but it's the one I've decided to choose.
Okay.
The first person to name one of the three, you just need one of the three Aston Villa goal scorers from the 1996 League Cup final when Aston Villa beat Leeds United 3-0. One of the three. First one gets it.
Sam, keep your eyes peeled in that chat.
1996.
This is for the Thomas Partey Limited, by the way.
Yeah. This is incredibly biased. But since Josh, flops, I had to come up with something on the fly.
I've got one.
Okay, Josh has got one for the Gabriel then.
Okay, hang on. When are we doing this?
Someone said Messi. That's wrong.
Messi's wrong.
We've got a few. Yes, we've got a few. Yes, people know their stuff. / they know how to look things up on Wikipedia. The first one I saw was Barros said York. That's Dwight York, and that is correct.
Barros, you are the winner of the Thomas Partey Limited. Congratulations. Everyone else, I'm sorry.
And shouts out to FF thinker Sean Thorpe, who said Savo Milosevic, absolute legend, but just in second place on my screen.
Barros, can you let me know your Sorare username, and I'll get that sent over to you. Put that in the chat. Hopefully, we don't get swarmed by the rest of the comments, but I appreciate you all. Also, lads, can we have a like on the stream, please? I don't know how many likes we're up to, but there's no goal, I guess, but just leave a like, please.
Someone wrote, "How old do you think I am?"
That's Charlie. That's Quinny. That's Quinny's boy.
Oh God.
Oh,
okay. I love Ryan Blanchard's shout of John Carew, because what a beast he was back in the day, by the way.
Yeah, John Carew was an animal, by the way.
Yeah, it's 12 years
I was gonna
late.
say, a few years too late, but nice to be nostalgic.
Fantastic.
Right, my is everyone ready for my trivia question now?
Yeah, we're ready for you, Josh.
Okay, this is not a fuck up, this one. So I need people to write in the chat the last team to win the Austrian Bundesliga that was not Red Bull Salzburg.
Oh, a lovely question, Josh. I love that. I love that question.
I don't even know the answer.
This is for Gabriel, by the way, or however we're going to pronounce it.
And now we wait for the chat to catch up.
Yep. Come on, chat. You got this.
Or maybe people are just like, I don't care about Josh's question now.
Well, Gabriel's worth nearly double Thomas Partey, so.
Wow, so they really should care about my question.
They really should care.
Got some answers.
Oh, okay. We have a correct answer.
Go on.
It is Matt McCann with Austria Wien.
Matt McCann, congratulations.
Really?
Yes.
Shouts out Patrick, who said Leipzig. Oh, it was probably the other Red Bull club, wasn't
it? That's class.
Yeah. So
it was Austria Vienna, really?
Yeah, so Austria Vienna, and that was back in 2012-13. Red Bull Salzburg were runners-up. Yeah.
Big congrats.
There you go.
Okay, Matt McCann, let us know your surname, and we can get that.
Oh, mate, absolutely ridiculous. 10 years in a row.
Well, Bayern are on 11.
Okay, I'm going to be giving away my Carlos Elena card, which we'll do on screen right now. We have how many entries? 182 entries, and I'm going to make the draw very quickly. One winner, no rejected. 3, 2, 1. We have a winner. Hugh for one. Hugh for. Congrats. If you are here, if you're not, still congrats. Yeah. So that is that done. Do we have usernames? I know I've probably not checked the chat for the last couple. Barrios, what's Barrios saying? Not for sale. Oh, here we go. That's the name of his gallery. Sorry.
Matt McCann's Sorare name is Matt McCann.
Oh, what a name.
I love it when they're that simple.
Yeah, I love that. Matt, you're a godsend.
Fantastic. That's a good
So-
one. So this Alenia, Harry, you liked this shout. See what the chat thinks. If you get Alenia back up on the screen, I think he looks almost exactly like Christian Pulisic.
He is a couple of them, isn't it?
Like it's a bit of a doppelganger, and the haircut is definitely playing into things as well. But when I first glanced at it, I basically just thought it was a Christian Pulisic card that was a misprint. Carlos Alenia looks just like him.
He does. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, username Matt McCann. Let me get Matt's card sent over. But lads, make sure we go over and follow SR Monkey for the giveaways, because he does this every Friday. Like, it's not just this is not a one-off. Like, he's very consistent in his sort of giveaways.
And he sends good cards as well, because I went through a little phase where I thought I was so funny sending Quinny all these duds to give away on the stream, and then I felt really bad. But SR Monkey consistently gives away usable cards.
100%. So they have been, the offers have been sent for those two. I'll give away the Elena when I find out that guy's Twitter. Oh yeah, he saw a username, but that can happen after. That's fine. So we've got 38 minutes to the deadline, lads.
Crikey, time really flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, time has flown. Sam, do you know about the roadmap update?
I read about half of it.
Okay.
I saw that things have been delayed.
Things have been delayed. Things have been delayed even more.
Call me an influencer, because all I did was moan about all this on the John Nellis podcast that was released this morning, which I believe Josh listened to the moment it dropped. He was refreshing the RSS feed, waiting for it, and off the back of my very well reasoned and balanced arguments and complaints, they've delayed all of it. So
yeah, and they're changing the fonts on the new player cards.
Are they? Okay, didn't get that far down.
Yeah, that's right at the bottom. But they're not changing the ones that are already out, obviously, because they can't change them. But they're changing the ones that are going to mint.
Oh, okay. Is that so? Those first ones, they count as a special card.
I guess they're special. Yeah.
There you go.
New font.
One of 100.
Only 3 printed in wedding calligraphy style.
Oh my god! Right, are we done with matchups, lads? I mean, I know we've only done like top. What have we done? Top 10-ish.
8, yeah.
8, 10, 9.
Have you done? I missed the first 3. Was Southampton QPR in the top?
No, that's in number 11, I think. So
it is down there though. It's close.
Because that's actually a good one, and one that I'll be happy to talk about for a couple of minutes, just because. I mean, you'd expect with home matchup the home team to be the stronger one, but that hasn't necessarily been the case for Southampton over the last 18 months or so. And in fact, even dropping down into the Championship so far, they've won their 2 away games and they drew their home game 4-4. So home still is not necessarily an advantage for Southampton, but you'd imagine, like, as they start to get through the gears under Russell Martin, they will start to find their way through it. And QPR are not great.
Yeah.
Not great at all. That opening weekend where they conceded within a minute to Watford, defence splitting pass after about 17 seconds, was very, very concerning. Then they don't look like a great side. Listening to the Not the Top 20 boys run a podcast, Ali Maxwell, George Ellick, some of the best Football League content you can find. Shouts out to them. They put QPR 24th in their 1-24 predictions. And Southampton, in case people haven't quite clocked it yet, but the L5s are starting to reveal it. AA monsters under Russell Martin, because it's like 75% possession. And these, like the fullbacks, are getting into the final third, and they're completing like 30, 40 final third passes. And the penalty box entries are there. Like Kyle Walker-Peters AA is generally very, very strong. Armstrong, Adam, looks like a bit of a reborn player. I wish Ryan Manning had a card, but I do have one of about 23 Jack Stevens rares, which is looking pretty good right now. Because he managed to put up a 52 in a 4-4 draw. Which really means that he was doing something ridiculous with the ball. Yeah. So these guys, as they start to click into gear, all the savvy ones have already got Carlos Alcaraz, I'm sure. If Nathan Teller stays, it's a very powerful card. But yeah, these guys here, like if Kyle Walker-Peters ends the week and he's in 8 days and he's still somehow a Southampton player, like good grief, he's going to be interesting.
Guys in the chat are asking about Charlie Alcaraz. Sorry, Josh. Is he going to start, Sam?
I don't know actually. I know he's obviously there on the screen. He missed last week. Was described as a minor thing. So hopeful, but I'll just have a quick look. But I haven't seen anything actually. To be honest with you, they need it because they actually don't really have a midfield. So they kind of sold all the midfielders.
Smallbone injured, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah,
he's out. It's looking better than it was first. It was suspected at first. It was going to be months, but now it's looking more like it got described as day to day or minor. Not too long ago. Flynn Downs has joined though.
I saw that. Yeah, that's a good
and
sign.
he played probably his best ever season of football under Russell Martin at Swansea.
Yeah.
So he add him to the collection, along with they're going to try and buy Nathan Wood from Swansea, and they've already brought in Manning. It's a free transfer from Swansea. He's just recreating the Swansea team, but just putting a bit more quality around it. To me, it looks like a recipe for success. If not in real life, then definitely SO5.
Yeah, 100%.
Who's just signed Ryan Fraser? Somebody in the Championship.
Southampton.
I just thought it was Southampton.
Yeah.
He hasn't got any cards, annoyingly, but yeah, he could be great.
I mean, the concern, I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Burnley, Southampton's age balance was all wrong. And so, they started the summer and they bought Shea Charles. He's 19. And it's like, okay, but do buy some adults soon, yeah? And, eventually, they're kind of getting there. And like someone like Ryan Fraser, well, a couple of my mates who support Southampton texted me this morning, like, oh, bit disillusioned with that. Was hoping for a bit of a star. Ryan Fraser with 150, 180 league appearances to his name.
Yeah, he's like no dud in the Championship.
Exactly the kind of thing that this team really, really needs. And like, you'd expect him, wouldn't you, to just drop down the level and become a bit of a force.
Yeah.
So and you can't, Edozie can't play 46 games. He's not ready for that. Nathan Teller might leave, that sort of thing. Just they're starting to put it together. It's just going to be a bit of a wild final week. I can see a question about Che Adams. He's a toss up every week because Everton keep bidding for him, and depending on how far along or how serious that bid is, or if it's close, then they will either choose not to risk him, air quotes, because an injury could scupper it. They've got a new deal on the table for him. They've offered him a new 3-year deal and the vice captaincy role.
Wow.
They've offered him 3 years, fresh terms, vice captaincy. If we don't get the fee from Everton we want, which is between 15 and 18, by all means sign this deal, and we'll keep you around. They'd love to have him, so they'd love to play him, but it just depends on whether or not that bid's serious and whether it's far along.
Okay. Lots of ingoings and outgoings, I guess.
Oh, mate, loads to figure out.
Yeah. Someone's asked me, did I pick Drew Etch in my under-23s? No, Ryan, I've taken him out, to be fair, mate. Thank you for spotting that. I'm going to play Badgie instead.
I really need to look at my teams.
Yeah, we've got 30 minutes left. I'm just having a little scroll down. Josh, are you wanting to look at your teams for now, or are you happy to...
No, I'm fine. I was
going to say Salzburg. Do you want? Should we?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Or was it just Salzburg, the same old with them?
Yeah, they're going to be favourites in every game, aren't they? I mean, away to Vierze could be great.
Yeah,
could be really good. I mean, defensively could be really good. who are they going to play? So Baidu's probably going to play. Pavlovic is almost definitely going to play. Dedic right back, and actually, is Dedic going to play?
They've got Dedic left back.
Yeah,
they've got Piatowski.
Yeah, I don't really see Piat playing fullback. I think it more likely that Kjaergaard plays in defence again, or I say defence. I think it more likely Kjaergaard plays left back, which isn't really left back. But I think that's more likely than Piat comes in a right back position. But I could be wrong. So yeah, I think it's more likely that Kjaergaard plays left back, Dedic plays right back. Forsung comes in as the left-sided central midfielder, and Oscar Luke plays 10. I think Koita will start up front along with Karim Konate, and I think Fernando will get slightly more minutes off the bench than he did last week. If people are looking for... Actually, how much has his price gone up by? I think Fernando's a good pickup now. If people want to try and make some quick dollar, because when he is back fully fit, he will start with Konate in most of their games, I would say. Although when they go into the Champions League, obviously he will be playing the midweek games and then probably resting the weekends. But if you look on his all-time graph, you can see the period from game week 221 to game week 303 when he was fit. He was he was prolific, basically. So, yeah, I mean, if they get him back and he gets back fit, he only played 17 minutes last week. I expect him probably to get more like half an hour against Viertse and then a bit more against Rapid, probably. But yeah, I don't know what his limited price is. I mean, it's
21 quid.
Roughly. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of already climbed up a little bit. But I mean, even now, I would be, what was it, 0.015, something like that. I don't think that's a bad gamble at all. The one of in rare went for 0.194. I think if you can get anywhere sort of near 0.15 as a rare, it's probably a pretty good purchase. And the market was quite a bit different. But back when he was playing, he was more like a 0.6 forward.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was a beast.
Yeah. So anyway, I think he'll get some more minutes this week. But your big players from this game probably going to be Pavlovic, Baidu. I think Kjaergaard's AA is really limited if he plays fullback, because he's not going to get on the ball probably as much as he would in central midfield, and also obviously doesn't get some of the credit for the defensive actions and the clean sheet, etc. So yeah, you're probably looking both centre halves, Dedic, and then Konate. I think probably scores a hat trick or something because he's just an absolute monster.
Yeah.
You got your bid in yet?
I've got a bid on. Yeah. Somebody's got an auto bid feature, so I'm keeping an eye on it. There's 2 days. There's nearly 3 days left, so it gives me some time to raise some funds. But I'm probably going to have to get the best part of 2 ETH together, which is not going to be particularly easy. Ugo says Nenny Dorgelis opinion. I don't think he's going to be good enough for the front line that Salzburg have. Is my honest opinion of Nenny Dorgelis, especially, and like he had sort of with Koita and Fernando coming back from injury. I think it will be them two. That partner, Konate, most likely whilst Ratkov is out. And then when Ratkov comes back, we've got even more of a toss-up. And, the thing is with Salzburg is they always rotate their forwards. When Jasil was manager, he asked for so much from his nines, like pressing into channel areas, running back with fullbacks to basically the halfway line, because of the narrow shape that he played. And it's sort of not really too much difference now either. So, they're going to rotate forwards quite a bit. But I think Karim Konate is not quite a Haaland level talent that we saw, but I really don't think he's many miles away. And I think he will definitely transfer next summer at the latest to somewhere else.
That's a mildly spicy take.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I didn't say he was
mentioning anyone in the same breath or close to the breath of Erling Haaland is wow. Okay. So next Haaland, got it.
So what would we say then, lads, as far as like Champion Europe goes this week, Challenger as well? Like, is it a case of this like Challenger for me? I think Champion Europe is going to have higher scores, if I had to guess, on average, than Challenger this week.
Challenger's so light, mate. So
I was going to say, it's really light,
none of the big
right?
Dutch clubs, none of the big Turkish clubs, none of the big Belgian clubs.
Yeah.
Because they've all got their games postponed due to the midweek European fixtures.
Right, I was about to say, why is that? And that's the answer. That's kind of them.
Indeed. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna, like I say, Salzburg, Celtic are the big challenger outlier. They will make or break the challenger game week. If Celtic absolutely crush, then the top of the leaderboard is going to be Celtic stacks, and you're going to need 500 points to win Challenger Super Rare, 480 to win Challenger Pro, 450 to win Challenger Rare. If Celtic flop, you're going to see considerably lighter scores required, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And then what we saying? Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Chelsea. It's a lot of Prem clubs, isn't it, in the top sort of 12-ish?
So Bayern against Augsburg is really nice on paper, but if I recall correctly, bit of a cop out. I'm pretty sure I recall correctly. It's not a rivalry, but it's like a local thing. Augsburg is local to Bavaria. It's a Bavarian team. And they've got a bit of a history, like a sneaky history of tripping them up at times or just making it quite difficult for them. So I guess we'd call it a bogey team. I don't know if the recent record still applies to that, but I do remember certain results within the last sort of 5-6 year period where Augsburg have kind of tripped Bayern up. Now it's at the Allianz, so you'd obviously expect the win, but just be aware of that. I was not going to stop anybody from playing their Kimmichs or their Canes or anything like that. It's fine, but it's possibly a problem. You never know. City, even though they're away to Sheffield United, is the smash fixture really here. I think on the championships on the champion side, no question.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I was gonna have a look at like prize pools and stuff before we sort of for the next sort of 5 minutes or so.
I've just got a couple of questions, Harry, if I can just jump in. Somebody was saying, Kubasaki in the chat was saying, what do you think of Terzic? I think under Struber, he's going to be good. Like when he's fit, he's going to start at left back. It's really unfortunate that both him and Ulmer are out at the same time. And therefore, like we've got this situation where Kjaergaard or Dedic is going to have to play essentially left back. But yeah, when Terzic is fit, he'll play. You can sort of look at Amar Dedic's scores and see what Terzic might get. They're sort of semi-similar, I suppose. Salzburg tends to go for that kind of profile fullback. But yeah, this Salzburg team is going to, it's funny, at the start of the season, lots of people saying, if Sturm can get their act together, this could be the year that they really take on the Austrian Bundesliga. Seiwald gone, Sesko gone, Jasel, the manager, moved on. And, Salzburg have just come out and absolutely demolished the start of the competition. They're just a machine. They keep going. They've conceded 1 goal in the first 4 games and scored 12, and just absolutely prolific.
I've got Hendrik Bonman in academy this week. The RZ.
Yes.
Whatever his name. That goal. He's got Salzburg. I'm like, yep, you can go to one side, my friend. You'll be conceding 4, unless Josh, you disagrit. But it seems like on paper
I do not disagree.
Shocker.
Yeah,
I mean, he might be quite busy, but he's probably going to concede 3, so it's going to ruin it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
bit of a problem. I don't know if you guys covered this before I came on. I don't think you did because they're not in the top thing. But like, Josh, can you explain to me and maybe some others that don't necessarily know what has happened to Dinamo Zagreb? Why are they 7th? Why have they nicked Rijeka's manager? And why did you tell me to buy Josip Misic in amongst all of this?
Well, you asked me for a good value midfielder, and he's a great value midfielder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I told you to buy him. He's got an L15 of 62.
Yeah.
And you can get his rare for like 100 quid or something. So yeah, that's why I told you to buy him. So they have now sacked their manager, as you mentioned. So Igor Bishkan was the manager for Dynamo Zagreb. He came in after Kakic was sacked last season for poor performance. I say poor performance. I think it was just after their Champions League exit. So at that time, they were top of the league, but had just been kicked out of the Champions League. They weren't playing particularly attractive football. Were sort of grinding out results in the Austrian in the Croatian HNL. Sorry. And Bishkan came in and did really well. Like, they finished the season so strongly. I think they won like the last loads of games anyway. And finished the season really strongly. And then they came into this season and they lost the opener to Hajduk Split despite being 1-0 up and then being awarded a penalty, which Bruno Petkovic missed. They then got through the first round of Champions League qualifiers, beat Istra, but then drew to Gorica at home, which was the surprise result, probably of the season, to be honest, that there will be. And then were booted out of the Champions League at qualification stage this year. So Bishkan had to go. So Bishkan has been sacked. They moved quite quickly to get Rijeka's manager, like you quite said. And then he's come in and we'll sort of see how he...
Is this his first game?
Yes, this will be... yes. No, so they had a Europa League qualifier last night, which they won 3-1. But yes, he will. It will be his first league game.
Okay.
So yeah, that's sort of what's happened in a nutshell. And to be honest, I get that someone sort of had to pay for the Champions League exit. I have been told by some other Croatian sources that Bishkan wasn't particularly happy at the club anyway, because the club have bought Kasavenda and Stojkovic from Lokomotiva Moscow. I think they're both from Lokomotiva. Stojkovic could have been from somewhere else. I can't remember. But they weren't the transfer targets that he was wanting. And I think he sort of wanted the club to try and spend a bit more money. But then obviously they didn't get into Champions League, so that's not going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, and like this, the lineup for them this week is sort of up in the air because they played Europe midweek. They've got the reverse leg in the midweek coming up. I think so we can't be sort of too sure who Jack is going to play, but that's sort of a rundown on what's been happening. Obviously they've lost Livakovic, they've lost Satalo, they've lost Ivanusek. I think someone was asking about Martin Baturina earlier. I think this is a bit of a blip from Batman, to be honest. The one major downside he has is that if Marco Bulak keeps playing, he will carry on taking set pieces. He has got a deadly free kick and takes corners from both sides. So, yeah, if he keeps playing, which it sort of looks like he is going to, then I don't really see Baturina getting too many set pieces.
It's amazing. It's amazing on this game, isn't it? How it can all fall down based on whether or not someone gets booted off set pieces. Is this happened to Zian Fleming as well? Like his scores have gone down. Is he offset?
I have no idea. He plays for Millwall now, right?
He does, yeah. But Harry's nodding.
I think, I was on mute. Sorry. Is it the centre mid Sullivan? No, something. I can't remember his name. George
Honeyman?
No, it's not. Saville. It might be Saville.
Right.
Is there a Saville?
Well, there was one.
It's
not him. He's not on stats.
Him. Let me have a look. I'll tell you now. His name is George Saville.
Yeah, George Chelsea Saville Academy. That rings a bell. Probably
took him last game. Yeah, Millwall have been shocking, haven't they, recently? So I guess that doesn't help old Zion. It's happened to Florian Wirtz as well. Wirtz hasn't taken sets yet. They've got Hoffman in there. Who's going to be
bouncy in the comments here saying Saka's sharing penalties, and sharing might be too generous a term because he's missed the last two, I think, or he's missed a couple recently, and Odegaard took a nice one, and that might be that.
When did Saka miss these? Sean said this to me in a chat as well the other day. I mean, I will confess, I needed Saka to score a goal for my bet to win in that last game. So when they got a penalty and he didn't take it, I was like, I did Jordan Ayew to get booked and Saka to score first in a double. And yeah, he hasn't missed. He's missed one penalty in the league, right? I think. I don't remember when he missed.
It was last season, so it's a bit foggy. But I do have a memory of him missing a penalty, and I also have another memory of him missing another quite important penalty, Josh, which we won't go into. And it's not.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, and emotionally, I'm still not ready. But it might be that he no longer gets that duty, and
he missed one
and that's tough.
On the 16th of April against West Ham, and the game that they drew in the end.
Yes, this rings a bell. A big bell, actually. I do remember that happening. And it was a pivotal one, weren't they?
Well, they were still in the title race, weren't they?
They were coasting that game, and they ended up messing it up. And obviously, when you've got that advantage, and then you don't compound it with the penalty, which I think would have been 2-0. I mean, it's over at 2, but there you go. And Ian Sorare in the chat says he missed a preseason one in America as well. So not going great. I mean, I'm in the midst of this too, guys. I've got I mean, this is bad for a number of reasons. It's really not gone to plan, but I have a Diego Fagundes from he's at LA Galaxy now. He was at Austin, where at Austin he took all the set pieces, and he was great last season. Lots of free kicks, all the corners, etc. He just takes a really good free kick direct on goal. And he's gone to Galaxy now, and I'm pretty sure that Ricky Pudge is going to shoo him away and tell him not to come near him when the ball is placed, because he's not as good as Pudge. But we'll see. But it's going to dramatically affect his scores, and it makes him quite rubbish. So that's a bit of a shame. This is the game, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Indeed. Harry, have you won Champion Asia again? I'm seeing.
I have.
Have you?
I've gone back to back, baby. Back to back.
Meanwhile, I'm on 249.6 points in the midweek Captain 14. I've been sat here all morning asking for a 0.4 Opta adjustment.
Oh no!
Such poverty, and Harry's out here doing back-to-back Asia wins.
And a Cap 240 threshold. Don't worry about
all right,
me,
mate. All right.
Yeah, I can do both, mate. I'm versatile.
Yeah. Let's see if I've got my adjustment yet.
Yeah, I've used last week's reward to win again. To be fair, with
who was last week's reward? Schultz.
Big Schultz, yeah.
Nice.
But this week they've added Mitsuta to the prize pool, who's been injured for like 3 months. He's like a under 23 forward, but he's actually 24. So I wouldn't mind getting him because the rest of the cards in there are all goalkeepers. But yeah, no, I'm buzzing with it. To be fair, I'm really, really happy. I paid £12 for Munas de Boer.
Oh yeah, because he got he get 2 assists.
2 assists, yeah, against Ronaldo's mob.
Was it partial coverage or was it full coverage?
It was partial.
So you got partial. 70 on the nose.
70 on the nose.
Wow.
Mate, didn't he get those 2 assists in like 10 minutes?
It was early. I was playing football to be fair, so I don't really know, but we can.
I flicked on and had a look, and he already had 70, and I was like, "Geez, if anyone's got Munas de Boer, they're already counting. They're counting the cash. Like, so good when it comes in that early."
It was 18th minute and 46th minute, apparently.
Oh, okay, not as early as I thought, but
they went 1-0 down. To be fair, that might be what it went 1-1 within 18 minutes, if that makes sense.
Right. Mohamed Kudus to West Ham. Here we go.
Oh, really? That is a death, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, dear. What a shame.
Yeah,
what a shame.
That is an SO5 funeral.
Have we got all our academy lineups in, lads?
Oh, yes.
Oh, the race to the bottom may already be on. Oh no, that was all yesterday. Do you know I'd never do an academy lineup? Is that bad? I probably should, shouldn't I?
You should probably do it. I won £4 from it the other week.
Did you?
Remember that? Yeah,
last
midweek,
class.
I think.
That was last midweek. I didn't have a full rare team, but I could put a limited Mohamed El Yunusi in to make it a team. Obviously, that's not eligible for anything. So I stuck it in academy. It got 310 points, and I got top 500, so I got £4.
Sick.
I was like, well, hang on a minute. Why haven't I been doing this the entire time? And they're taking it away, aren't they? Of course, it's postponed now because they're postponing all the facilities.
Yeah, good point.
So we've got another 4 months of that, just printing £4 notes.
As if there is such a thing as a £4
Oh, there is now.
Have you heard the Almada to Ajax?
Yeah, I saw Mike Verwij. Yeah, he reported this morning.
That's awesome.
That would be very good.
Josh, I'm going to go against the grain and Captain Timber.
Okay.
Because he's in my under-23 Super Red lineup that I'm not confident in anyway.
Josh, I've listened to everything you said, and I'm going to captain my Timber.
Well, Labrovic is playing against Dynamo. Can we expect anything there, Joshua?
Well, I mean, I didn't expect them not to score against Gorica, but they didn't. Who knows what's going to happen? They've got midweeks. They might not be particularly strong. True. I'm playing all of mine in All-Star Super Rare.
Okay, that gives me a lot of confidence. Thanks.
So, I'm not playing them in Challenger, apart from Josip Misic.
Yeah.
I can't find a space for Glashenkov, Josh, at all.
Oh, really?
No, his cap hits 57, and he doesn't qualify for my absolute premium team in All-Star because the forward there is Savarino, who presumably will play this week after not playing last week because of the floods. Please, the chat, any weather conditions I need to be aware of this week, please. I got done by it last week. So I ignored everyone's advice, so I wouldn't do the same thing twice.
Oh, Hendo's put something about Akinfeev not playing, and somebody else asked me a question. I don't know who it was. I apologise. It was So Rare Josh. Namesake. Lovely. He said, Josh, what do you make of Akinfeev situation on the bench again, third game in a row? Seems long for a minor injury. And Hendo said he's not playing because it's on an artificial. I am not 100% sure on the Akinfeev situation. The only thing I will still say with my chest is that if he's not injured, I would just be so surprised if he isn't playing. I think it does have something to do with the pitch or his injury. And I wouldn't be too worried if you hold one, although I'm sure his value is probably tanking somewhere.
Tornado in North Yorkshire, apparently, to be wary of, guys.
Oh my god! There's a lot of fixtures tonight, by the way. We've got Real Madrid tonight, Chelsea tonight. Couple of big ones.
I hate a Friday night go fuck. No one likes one, do they?
What are the early challenger ones? They're the real ones.
There aren't many because of the European games midweek.
Of course. Oh, Jesus! Orenburg, Cisco Moscow at 3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So either we know Akinfeev's playing or not, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it should be announced now. Yeah.
And that's,
I think, what Hendo was saying is that he's not playing because it's on the artificial.
Goodness me. I've got Junior Alonso against Fackel at 6.
Nice.
Las Palmas. Zakarian debut, anyone for Real Sociedad at Las Palmas? Any chance?
Is he registered, Sam? Have you seen
I have not. I do not know.
There was something to do with his registrations being a bit funny. So I don't think he's going to be involved, as far as I'm aware.
All right. It's also a rough away trip to the Canaries, isn't it? Yeah.
Rubbish weather.
I'll tell you what, actually, when I watched Granada play there early last season in the Segunda, and there was an actual hurricane that was brewing during the game, and it was atrocious. So it's not always lovely in the Canary Islands. So I was only being half serious or half facetious. I'll be watching that Chelsea game and expecting them to score 3.
Yeah, I'll be watching 2. Cardiff City tomorrow at home to Wednesday. Massive game.
That is a massive game. How are Cardiff doing?
Not great.
Okay.
They got a draw against Leeds first game. I don't think they've won a game since. They've only played 2, I guess. But they've just signed that. Is it Runarsson?
Right, yeah, Runarsson.
Yeah.
Awful goalkeeper.
Is he?
Well, I'm judging him too harshly. When I saw him step in for Arsenal, which to be fair is a tough gig.
Yeah,
he was rubbish, but he's obviously just done a full season in Turkey, right? So he's probably a bit sharper, a bit happier. We'll have to see.
But at 26, he's still getting loaned out. Surely, why do I even want to buy him?
Yeah, it's not all for a goalie.
No, but to be getting loaned out all the time, I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't know. Maybe
it's not great. I mean, if you don't have a family or anything like that, if you're just sort of flitting about, Asmir Begovic, he did. He went on loan to Milan, then he went to Karabag, then he joined Everton. Now he's at QPR. He's been around the world. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, then crack on. Great excuse.
Yeah.
Great excuse. Really good excuse. I've changed my captaincy. I've gone with Balde. Sorry, Jonathan's. Okay.
Josh, Misic is captain of my 270, mate.
Nice.
I'm looking for a big debut.
He's captain of my Challenger Super Rare.
Nice.
So
Very
we
nice
can,
indeed.
And he's also in my All-Star Super Rare. So we can cross our fingers together.
We will indeed, yes. He's joining Marcus Ingvartsen and Victor Klassen from my Scandinavian cohort. I've got Frederick Ronno, saved 2 penalties last week.
Nice.
And he's got Darmstadt away, so I'm hoping for another clean sheet. And Chichi, the Fortaleza defender, who's just subbing in there as a low cost guy as a complete 270. I've got 2 or 3 lineups I'm actually quite happy with. It was the case last week as well, but the weather got me. Hoping for better this time. Still haven't had my adjustment, Harry. Nothing yet from Opta. Nothing yet.
Sometimes you can get it after, to be fair, though. I've heard that's
thing,
right?
Yeah.
What, so even after 3 o'clock, if it goes up?
Yeah.
Is it basically up to 7 or whenever?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so my guy's on lunch, and he'll come back, and he'll be looking at basically. Well, I've got Kevin McAllister in the team. He got 90.8.
And you still didn't manage to hit the threshold.
No, because Jonas Lössl conceded 3. He got 13 points.
Oh, that'll do it.
My goalkeeper. But all they need to do really is just find a possession 1. 1 possession 1 for K-Mac. And I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says here he won possession 9 times. I haven't seen the game, but I'm absolutely certain he won it 10. There you go. Easy stuff. K-Mac's back.
It must pay to have a friend at Opta, surely.
Most definitely.
I'm sorry, but we can't be opening that can of worms after the refereeing comments that we saw last night and this morning. I mean,
atrocious.
I mean, that's a whole new level of bad, isn't it?
Yeah. What was it? I've seen a
so Mike Dean was basically saying that he didn't want to put his mate in an uncomfortable situation, so he didn't give the correct call on the field, essentially.
Yeah, it was Tottenham Chelsea, wasn't it? And someone pulled someone's hair. Romero pulled Cucurella's hair.
Yes.
And it should have been a penalty. And Mike Dean decided not to call his mate over to the screen to review it because he didn't want to give him any more grief. Wow. I mean, that's just not how refereeing works.
No.
Is it? That is not it at all. And the fact that that's been admitted now and is out there is really, really bad. Like, I've always maintained all through last year, particularly in the face of Arsenal fans who were convinced there was a conspiracy against them. I'm like, look, I don't think they're competent enough to create and then enact a conspiracy. Like, they're so bad at their jobs that even if they were trying to do one thing, it would end up being the other. And I can't work out if what's happened here is proof that my statement is correct or proof that it's wrong. Like, how bad is that?
Terrible.
It's bad. Very bad.
Deary me.
It's like a policeman saying, I think there's a murder over there, but I don't want to send my mate to it because he might get in some trouble.
Yeah. I saw a crime happening, but I've just finished a 9-hour shift and I am quite tired. I think I'll just leave it. Yeah.
Slightly dulled down version of that, I guess. But yeah, appalling if you ask me. And, I think this just illustrates more than ever that, well, I don't think there's too much of a place for VAR in its current format in the game. So there you go.
Lads, take a guess at how many users are in the Cap 240 Limited this weekend.
Ooh. I have absolutely no idea. 26,000.
Wait, rare or
limited? Limited.
Oh, that's a good guess, Josh, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'll go for 29,000.
Sam is closer. 32.7.
Nice.
Hey, what card do I win? I get your reward from this midweek, Asia. That's fair.
About that.
Let me know in the chat if you think that's fair.
Whenever you're I won't reveal any news, but a couple.
Oh, that's it. We're locked in.
There might be.
Sorry, Harry.
Gifts coming Sam's way. No, you're fine.
God, yeah. Here we go. We're in.
Now let's set some midweek lineups.
Cap 240 rare users.
14,000.
Joshua?
Cap 240 rare. Ooh, not that many. 9,600.
16,312.
Well, below me.
You can tell here who plays Cap and who and who swims in a much bigger pool. Josh swims in the Olympic sized pool. I'm in the very, very warm urine filled kids pool. and it really shows.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. Yeah, we do.
I won't know the answer to a super rare equivalent, by the way, because it's well out of my league.
It's like 1.5k in the super rare.
In the Cap one.
Yep. So,
wow.
Hey, honestly, numbers are growing like seriously. Yeah, 1,561 to be exact.
I wonder how many are viable.
Crazy.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Probably
Lad, we've only got 27 likes according to Hendo.
Oh, well, it's up to 53 now. I think Hendo's done some great work on the like situation. Thank you for everyone that's liked.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Does it do anything?
No, probably not. According to Chani, no, it doesn't do anything.
Well, Chani would know.
Chani would know.
Yeah.
I'd hope.
Right, let's look at some midweeks, like Josh said. I've got 2 goalkeepers.
The reverse from this midweek.
I've also got 2 goalkeepers, Sam.
Well, mine are rubbish. How are yours?
Well, I've got Muslera home to Mold. That's pretty nice. But also Unastall home to Fenerbahce, which maybe isn't very nice.
Yeah. Actually, looking at it closely, I've only got one because one of my 2 is Zach McMath, who and RSL are away midweek, which almost always means that bane of my life, Gavin Beavers, plays instead. He does the away midweekers. That's the pattern that we've sort of sussed. So I actually don't have 2. I've only got 1.
McBride's put a good team in Challenger Super. I was hoping he wasn't gonna.
Do you then go through and just look at all your competitors?
I'm looking at all the people that I know will have good teams now, yeah.
Right. Okay.
I've got 3 midweek goalkeepers, lads.
Cool. All right, high flyer.
Hello.
Riker at home to Lille. Big game for the boys, which they'll probably lose. Brady at home to the Whitecaps. And there is a situation in goals for Toronto right now. Samuel, do you know about that?
A situation
Well,
in
Sean Johnson
goal
is out for like 6 weeks or something. So Thomas Romero, who's an under-23 keeper, has got the old number 1 spot. Yeah, for the next couple of games. But Toronto are obviously one of the worst teams in the league. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Johanneton says, did you like the Zach McMath not coming to Israel news? I mean,
sounds great.
Sounds good to me. People kept telling me over the course of the summer that Zach McMath had been linked to Israel. I kept Googling it and I found absolutely nothing. And it's not that I don't believe everyone that said it to me. It's that I could never take it that seriously because I just couldn't find a single scrap of reporting that said it. So it must have been on Twitter or something, or it might have been in a different alphabet, so I couldn't read it. But I never actually saw anything. But I saw his price dropping in anticipation. Like, I'm pretty sure he's about 170 quid a rare right now, which is fair enough given he might go to Israel and he doesn't get to play all the games because of Gavin Beavers. I really am stuck in this one. I hate it so much. If you can see out the season and find an okay L15, I would be more than happy to get out of him at the end of the season.
32, decent age. He's okay.
I've just seen Bellemar's put a dirty lineup in Challenger Super Air, and I'm very upset about it. Sorry, guys.
How dirty?
Well, got the Pac Shao Unique in there who are playing Almere at home.
Yeah, it's dirty.
The annoying thing is he asked me if Luka Stojkovic was going to play for Dynamo Zagreb, and I obviously told him yes, because he is. But then he's put him in there. So I'm, directly helping the competition.
You're too nice.
Yeah, well,
I was just going to say.
You don't mind helping me because I'm nowhere near you.
Oh, dear. Anyway, I'll stop looking at the Challenger leaderboard.
That's fine. I think that's probably going to be it, lads, to be fair. We're obviously past the deadline and we're all locked and loaded. So, yeah.
Yes, I should probably
good luck
do
to
some
everybody.
work.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, good luck all. Go fuck, guys. Woo.
GF,
no Friday curses, please.
Yeah,
no Friday curses.
Hey, I've got no one playing on Friday, so let's have all the Friday curses you like, guys.
Zip it. No,
I don't think that's how it works.
Enzo 100, Vinny 100, Rodrigo.
Have I got much or anything at all?
Hang on, who? Enzo, Vinicius, and
Rodrigo.
Yeah, you can have all those.
Okay, I'll have
Go for
them. Thanks. Right.
So kind.
Appreciate you all, lads. And yeah, massive good luck for this weekend.
Yeah.